Hey, what's up? This is Sean here. About 4 months ago now, I quit my corporate job at my Big Four accounting firm. I was really going crazy. I was not passionate about the work. I knew I wanted to be in sales. I knew I really wanted to be doing something for myself. The way I initially started breaking out of that mold was actually I started getting up early before work, setting my alarm for 5:30 a.m. and doing about an hour of cold calling or 45 minutes of cold calling before I got to work. And the type of cold calling I would do is I would cold call random small businesses out of the yellow pages, pitching myself as a website design company. Now, to be honest, I certainly would not consider myself a website design company at that time. Having said that, I was confident I could learn how to put together a WordPress website in enough time should I have gotten a sale. Now, I unfortunately did not make any sales during those morning cold call adventures. Having said that, I still felt that feeling of trying to do something for myself. I knew sales and entrepreneurship was a much better fit for me than trying to climb the corporate ladder. Eventually, I worked up the courage to quit my job against the best advice of my parents and my career advisors. I gave them my 2 weeks notice, and at around that time, I actually grabbed a beer with a good friend of mine from university who had just been returning from some traveling, and we actually started a website design business together. It kind of worked out well with the timing for both of us. Over the span of about 3 or 4 months, we learned a ton. We had a lot of laughs. Unfortunately, we did not make enough money, and technically the business was a failure. We were both going into too much debt, so we had to pull the plug. Having said that, I certainly don't look at that experience as a failure. In fact, I would say that was the most cost-effective and time-effective business education I ever received, and in my opinion, far more effective than my undergraduate degree in commerce. So going forward, after the business wrapped up with me and my business partner at the time, that takes me back to about 3 weeks ago now. I was with no job, in quite a bit of debt. I still am in quite a bit of debt, and at the same time, I wasn't quite ready to throw in the towel and get another job. What I decided to do was post an ad on Craigslist to subrent my apartment furnished for about $550 more than I paid in rent. Now, I live in Vancouver. If you guys know anything about Vancouver, the rental market is pretty crazy. People love to complain about it here. And I decided to take advantage of that. I was able to successfully sublease my apartment. I since then rented a new apartment of comparable price level. And I now realize $550 of passive income each month, and that feeling is so addictive and so incredible. I just have to sit here, and I think it's about $130 a week of income that comes in. Now that takes me to my goal of building my personal passive income up to $2,000. And why $2,000? Well, $2,000 is both a very rewarding amount of passive income and a very attainable amount of passive income. There are many parts of the world where you can live very comfortably for $800 to $1,000 a month. Really nice places to live, tropical places, Bali, Thailand, parts of Colombia and South America. And if I give myself $2,000, if I put $1,200 aside for living expenses, I can pretty much live like a king in these beautiful tropical destinations. So once I achieve that amount of passive income, I have the opportunity to essentially go on a vacation for the rest of my life. Now, the other $800, let's say I invest that every month, $800 a month, and let's assume I earn a 5% return on that investment, compounded yearly for the next 40 years. So in 40 years, I'll be 65 years old. I'm 25 years old right now. That lump of money will be almost $1.2 million. Now, with that amount of money, I could buy 4 Ferraris, or if I was feeling more responsible, I could put a down payment or buy a really nice house to retire in. And that's why $2,000 could afford me an incredible lifestyle, and I do think is very attainable. I plan to reach that goal by cold calling businesses and selling them websites, getting them signed on for a monthly hosting fee. Right now I'm cold calling several hundred small businesses every week, and trying to sell them websites. Every site I sell is $25 to $35 more of passive income, and hopefully the upfront design fee I charge will be enough to survive in the meantime. In addition to that, I plan to pursue other creative ways of passive income. For example, my subleasing arrangement being the first one, which is a huge chunk, $550 a month. I'm currently trying to sub-rent out the parking spot I have included in this apartment. And that's a quick introduction to my journey. The reason I'm making these videos is not to try to sell some stupid entrepreneurship product down the road. It's honestly because it gets weirdly lonely sitting in your apartment all day, cold calling businesses by yourself. So I'd love to have a community of people to connect with and share this with. And that's the plan. Glad that you guys are along for the journey. Until next time.